there's no way that you can waste money. So I want you to reframe that. So I was driving to a client's house, or was I driving back from a client's house? I can't recall at this moment, but I was driving either to or from. And I was just in my zone of genius as I was driving on the freeway. And of course, when your mind is quiet, spirit speaks. And I was thinking about my finances, and I'm resigning. As of today, I've resigned from a particular position of coaching parents to be better parents and things of that nature. And today was my last day, and I saw my last client. And for that, and I was thinking about that on my way either to them or from them, probably from them. And I was thinking about the finances, quote unquote, that I would be missing, even though I know this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing in this moment because Spirit gave me the nudge to leave this because I have other opportunities coming for me and I have to be open to receive that new opportunity when it presents itself. I can't be bogged down with, this particular position. And so I was thinking about some purchases that I made, and I was like, was that a waste of money? Should I take that back? And then I don't never take anything back. Normally I'll just give it away or wear it or something and I just be like, whatever. But the fact that I said waste, and boy, when I say spirit went in on me, spirit said there's no such thing as a waste of money. And I was like, tell me more, spirit, tell me more. Well, I know money is energy and you can't waste energy. There's no such thing as wasting light. My grandmother and probably my mother, I want to say my mother more so, was stop wasting electricity. Well, in a way, you can't waste the electricity. You can't waste energy. We just expend it and it's just moves into something else. And so I was pondering that for a while I was driving. I can't waste money. So then I said, well, how do you want me to reframe that, God? How would you like me to unlearn this and relearn something else so I won't think that when I exchange this energy for services and goods and experiences, because that's what we do with money, it's a service or a good or an experience, then what am I doing? It's never a waste. And so Spirit was, just telling me all these things. And I was trying to grasp it while I was driving, but I couldn't really grasp a lot of it. It's still being downloaded into me, and I'm going to be changing my vocabulary and I'm going to remove that word waste from my mindset. And I wanted to bring about a way to how I can teach that to you guys. And so I sat down, I meditated, I did a little bit of writing. Spirit gave me three affirmations, and I will talk about that later. But I wanted to remind you guys that when it comes to money and the energy of money, the main goal, not even the main goal, the main frequency that I got as a download is that when we utilize money, it is like water. It is like a mirror to us. When we feel good, when we utilize it as an energy, then that energy is put on the money. And so this is what the example Spirit gave me. Spirit said, Spirit, I don't know if you guys ever did this, but when I was younger, we used to write on our money, or at least in California, we did that. It was like a trend for a while. So we would write our name on our money and we would send it out and we would see if we get it back. And Spirit reminded me of that. And I said, well, I never got it back. And then Spirit was like, no, you didn't because it circulated. It needed to go out into the world, and your name went out into the world. And I was like, wow, my name went out into the world. Like I'm famous on some dollar bill or $20 bill or $100 bill or whatever bills I used to write on. And I thought to myself, yeah, and that money was happy. That money I was happy when I wrote on it. And so that particular bill or energy was happy when it went out. And so that really tickled me because I hadn't thought about that. I want to say, I want to say I'm 55 now. In 40 years. Maybe I was like 15, maybe 18 or something like that. And I was just amazed at how that memory came up through spirit as an example. So, with that being said, as you guys see, I'm super happy and bubbly right now because when you get a download from God, when your intuition really just like talks to you and brings something back into your memory, you know you didn't think of it. You know it's God. You know that infinite intelligence remembers everything you have done. Boy, that's when you know you got to forgive yourself on some ignorant stuff. But I digress. So we can't waste money. I am learning, I am unlearning that it's a waste of money to utilize the frequency. And I'm relearning that the frequency that I use for goods, services, and experiences, I want to be in joy. The word joy came back up. I was like, yes, joy. That is what I'm working on. I'm working on more joy in my life. I'm working on more joy energy. I'm working on expanding my joy, joy, joy. And now I see why Spirit wanted me to connect joy and pull on joy more as an experience for me and as an emotion for me, because I know that I can be in neutral a lot of times. I don't want to be too high and too low because of all the different things that I've dealt with in my background. However, this year, joy in the last, I want to say 5 months or so, maybe not even that long. Well, no, from when the time I went to Australia, I had big joy. And then I said, I want more of that. And so, yeah, this year, I've been really emphasizing joy in my life. So going back to unable, you can't waste money. Money is just a tool. It's like you can't waste a hammer. You can't waste lights. You can't waste water. We have an abundance of it. It's everywhere. It's always going to be everywhere. Because it was somewhere before we even realized it was there. Before we even realized money was money, the energy of money was already there. And I had to ponder that for a while. I was like, yes, because it's never been the physical piece of paper or coins of silver and gold. It was always this an exchange of energy, which is an experience, a good, or a service. And wow. So those three things is what we utilize the energy of money for. And so it's never a waste. It's never a waste. So I promise you guys the three affirmations that Spirit gave me as I was doing my meditation and my writing. And Spirit's funny, so these are going to be literally for me, but I wanted to share them with you anyway. And so I'm going to be looking at my little container, okay? So Spirit said, the money I have has me. Together we are happy, we expand in these streets. I'm just saying, Spirit funny. He knows my personality. Then the next one is thank you, money, for being with me, for expanding with me, and for being the light. Because it is light, it is energy. And then the last one says, money, 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 so sweet to me, like honey, we stick together and we make life feel like dessert. Like the dessert. I said, really? We always want dessert. Hey, and sometimes we need to have dessert first. Dessert first, then vegetables. Either way it goes, we're gonna digest it. Our body's gonna utilize it as fuel and energy, just like money. So that's it. That's all. That's all I have about we cannot waste money. We cannot waste money. We cannot waste money. It's only energy. And when you utilize it for a gift, when you utilize it for services, goods, or an experiences, always put joy within that money. Have happy money going out there. I read the book of Happy Money. It's an excellent book. If you haven't read it, go ahead and read it by Ken Honda. It really gives you like this spiritual energy of money. And so I really respect that. And I'm digesting it even more and more every single day. And let's see. So I do have a free mini course out. If you're still here, please subscribe, like. I would love to be monetized, you guys. Ooh, especially since, I just resigned from a job, but I'm so excited about moving forward with YouTube, moving forward with doing personal coaching. If you want to be coached and be able to utilize your intuition to have the best life ever that's crafted by you, you can have personal coaching with me. That information is in the description. And if you're that woman who wants to start doing it themselves, you can be able to go to the mini class for the Dear Diary, Dear Me, which is the discovery letter, which is also in the description. The book itself you have to purchase to get the prompts. However, the mini class is in the description. And if that interests you, that's there. And I invite you to go ahead and purchase the book either on Amazon or on my website if you want it instantly. And so I'm just continually to be focused on doing my 4 quadrants for my vision board coming up. I have in January, I'm going to an event for more personal development. And I'm just looking at 2026, as the horse energy, and I'm figuring out and pulling in what energy I want to convey. What kind of horse do I want to be? I know I see myself wild and free, but I also see myself running on the beach with other horses, and we are just going into the sunset, and we are beautiful and strong and lean. That's how I see it. That's how I see it in my mind's eye. So I'm looking forward to building a community with you. And yeah, that's it. I love you guys so much. It's Coach Hunt, and I have your greatest interest at heart.